There was a tidbit of information that kind of went unnoticed. In one of Embark's most recent patch notes for the finals, they mentioned and talked about their direction going forward with anti-cheat, but they weren't specific to just the finals. I want to talk about this information today in a little bit of short, quick video and how I interpreted it. This small Swedish studio is known for their current work in the finals, which revolutionized the in-game destruction from online multiplayer games. Completely different and unique take on FPS game mode genre with quick cash, but to people in communities and niches outside of the arena shooter FPS games, they're more well known for the exceptional work in which I featured on this channel several times, and me and a whole bunch of other creators alike can only speak good words about Arc Raiders because it is an absolute masterpiece in gameplay design, finish, polish, and specifically its audio design, which is just freaking chef's kiss. Wait. No way. What players who only played Arc Raiders wouldn't know is that between these two games, there are a lot of shared gameplay design elements, modules, physics, different features that are taken and shared amongst these games. Like the way your character attaches to a zip line, the way your character moves in third person. When you go in a private match in the finals, watch the character. A lot of the movement elements and animations are just shared in between games. In fact, there's something very unique that I don't think anybody knows. It's something I realized a couple weeks back playing the finals. The kill animations, death animations in the finals, when you get coined, aka like eliminated, you see your character go through a little falling animation and he spews out in coins, right? Now, I remember thinking back to the Arc Raiders when I get shot and knocked down, the little animation that plays when you get knocked, it's very similar to the coining animation in the finals. So when Embark attached this little security note to patch 7.3 of the finals, I started to raise a few eyebrows. Before I get into it though, let me know down below in the comments if you are for or against kernel level anti-cheat, because I know that is a very divisive topic, and I would like to see it from both angles from all of you guys. I read every single one in the comments, even though nowadays I can't really reply to every single one of them, which is like a curse and a blessing at the same time. While you're down there, do me a huge solid. Apparently YouTube likes it when I ask you guys to like and subscribe. You probably see the little button shining right now. Do me a favor and hit both of those. In short, this very beginning of the security statement is just Embark saying that they are taking a step forward to combat cheaters, which I haven't seen much of in the finals. My experience is definitely not reminiscent of what a lot of people say online. My experience with cheaters in the finals has been very minimal. Either they are closet cheating and I have no idea they're actually cheating, or they're playing, all the cheaters are at the absolute pinnacle and high ranks of the finals, which I am definitely not. They continue to say that, as mentioned in the 7.0 patch notes, a lot of cheats these days use a kernel driver to read and write memory to gain an unfair advantage, which if you're a little bit familiar with how Windows works, or even Linux for that matter, you'll know that there are like different privileges and a hierarchy of privileges exist. So you can run a regular application and then you can run an application in admin mode, and then there are higher up privileges. One rank of privilege cannot affect a rank of privilege that is above it. So if you run a program in a regular mode, you can't make changes to a program that requires admin level privileges. But if the cheat software can run at extended privileges above and beyond, it is now encompassing the finals because it is at a higher level of privileges. This means that it is making it unlikely and in some cases impossible to detect cheats that are at elevated privileges higher than admin level, aka kernel level cheats. This is why you see games that are worth their salt in anti-cheat usually have kernel level anti-cheat, Valorant being my prime example. The technical solution, and pretty much the only solution to this, is to make that same application, the finals, kernel level anti-cheat as well. We believe that this is and will be a requirement for every competitive multi-game for the foreseeable future. We're also using machine learning to analyze player behaviors, and we've been doing so since the launch of the finals. In the coming months, they're trying to roll out and implement a kernel level anti-cheat solution. Now, it is this exact line that made me think for a second, that made me raise my eyebrows. We believe that this is and will be a requirement for every competitive multi-game in the foreseeable future. Now, what other competitive multiplayer game does Embark have cooking in the oven right now? That would be Arc Raiders. I believe that they are using the finals as a way to kind of experiment and build up and greatly enhance their anti-cheat solution as kind of a beachhead solution to make their anti-cheat and prepare it for the release of Arc Raiders. In a game like the finals, having a cheater in one of your lobbies is not as big of a deal as it would be in other places. In the finals, you just die and maybe you lose a match, cool, sure, move on and go play another match. You don't lose anything but time in that match, basically. When you're looking at a game that's an extraction shooter where one shot can make the world of difference, where a millisecond reaction time could be the difference between you living and surviving and looting and gathering all that yummy loot, or you dying and losing all the loot that you brought into the raid. One death in Arc Raiders means a hell of a lot more than it does in the finals. So I believe having a good anti-cheat system in an extraction shooter is a top priority, as we can see in like a game like Tarkov, where their anti-cheat solution is literally a joke. In fact, I heard rumors that they don't even, you know what, I probably shouldn't even say it. But if you're a Tarkov player, you know the rumors that I'm talking about.
You got this! You got this! You got this!
Having a good anti-cheat system in an extraction shooter is absolutely vital to its survival. We've seen this in the past with a game that many of you might not have even known or heard of, but it was one of my favorite extraction shooters of all time, and it is now currently dead, and you can't play it again. Rest in peace. If only Stop Killing Games existed back then. The Cycle Frontier, I've mentioned this several times before. The history behind that game is that it came out, it caught fire, all the streamers were playing it, it was a really, really big deal for a short period of time, and then the cheaters started going absolutely rampant and just destroying lobbies. I remember hearing Shroud say that specifically that was the reason why he left the game. He loved it, he wanted to play it more, but like he just physically couldn't because the cheaters were that rampant. So you can see how having a really good anti-cheat system is absolutely vital to an extraction shooter's survival. In my opinion, that also lends to why Arc Raiders is going to be a paid game. You can see right here in this line, this is kind of why I think that they're making Arc Raiders a paid game. It's their strategy for combating is simple. Raise the cost. Literally, they say it right there. Raise the cost, difficulty, and time required to develop and distribute cheats. If a game is paid, there is a physical wall and barrier to entry for a person who is looking to use cheats or maybe used cheats in the past and got banned, and now he can't get back in the game unless he wants to pay a little money, which then Embark can go and use that money earned to develop their anti-cheat system further. And it's a circle of life, just like that. I really hope that all that is being said right here by Embark isn't just fairy powder and dust and just like blows away with the wind, as we've seen with other developers in the past who kind of just say stuff and then it really doesn't come to fruition. I don't think this is going to be one of those cases. I think Embark is really going to be true to their word. Going based off of experience, again, back in the past when Embark had that problem with the little accessibility software that you can run on your computer and basically make your keyboard and mouse emulate a controller so you have aim assist with the accuracy of a mouse. Embark, it took them 2 days to react and implement a solution that was actually really freaking good, which many studios later went on to basically copy and paste into their game. Like I remember Apex Legends, which struggled with this very thing, took that and said, hey, yo, we're gonna do that too. 2 days. 2 days is how long it took for Embark to reply on that, where Apex Legends has been a game for years, right? So going based off of experience, I think they got what it takes. I really, really hope that they do, because cheaters is one of my biggest concerns for an extraction shooter like that. And Arc Raiders is one of my most anticipated games that I really, really, really want to play right now. So if you're like me, reading this little excerpt that kind of went under the radar was a little bit of a sigh of relief.